Welcome back to Upvote My Trauma. And if you're on YouTube, hi, this is my face. This is what it looks like. Today we're doing messy matrimony. So we're reading some stories about maybe some nuptials that shouldn't have napped. I don't know. All right. The first story comes from r/off my chest, and it's titled, I Often Regret Getting Married. OP writes, I'm a piece of shit for what I'm about to say. I make no attempt to justify anything. This is a throwaway account for obvious reasons. My 27 male wife, 28 female, and I got married back in 2022. We have been together since we were 19 and 20 in college. She's the most amazing woman and absolutely 100% my best friend. And a phenomenal wife. We do well financially. We have zero debt. We have a dog. We own a house. I work a lucrative tech job and she takes care of our home. We cook together. We make music together. We're both musicians. And we go antiquing. That's cute. We are quick to apologize and quicker to forgive. We live near family with whom we have a great relationship. I adore my wife, and we have a great life. I often feel myself regretting settling down. I know this is selfish. I know I'm taking every blessing for granted. I just can't shake this feeling that pops up frequently that I regret not dating more and getting more experience with other people. I was my wife's first everything. Kiss, boyfriend, etc. I had dated a bit in high school, including a high school relationship that lasted over a year, but she was my first adult relationship. After very awkward teenage years, I finally found myself feeling attractive near the end of college and started receiving the kind of attention from women that I'd always wanted when I was younger. But by that time, I was already in a long-term relationship with my now wife. I would never betray her, so I never even considered reciprocating that attention. I still refuse to consider it. I just sometimes wish I had experimented more, both relationship-wise and sexually. I wish I had done more. I don't know how to stop feeling this way, and I'm especially confused because other than a slightly slower sex life than I'd like, we have an amazing relationship. I feel like a piece of shit, and I want to stop feeling these feelings. Thank you for reading. I just needed to get this off my chest. Edit. Thank you for the kind words. To be clear, I know I'm taking the world for granted, and I'm absolutely not considering betraying my wife or throwing away my life. The reason I posted this is because I'm trying to process these feelings so that I can effectively move past them. Edit 2. I'm going to stop replying to the comments because I just don't have time. Thank you for the reality check. Though actually pursuing these thoughts was never even in question, I'm going to talk to a therapist so I can work through these feelings and move past them. I don't want a different life. I just have annoying feelings I need to process and dismiss. I appreciate you all sharing your thoughts. So I'm glad that by the second edit, he got to therapy. But yeah, I can see why he would feel this way because they got together so young. But at the same time, you're never going to find anything better than that. Someone that you guys have so much in common. You go antiquing, you have a whole life set up. She's a great wife. You obviously, it looks like you are married to her for all of the right reasons. It's okay to feel like you kind of missed out, but at the same time, dating freaking sucks. It really does. It's just kind of the worst. And you go through, I mean, they say women have to kiss frogs to find the prince, but dudes kiss tons and tons and tons and tons of frogs and ogres and whatever. Like, did you really want to go through that, OP? Yeah, you would have had some gems in there, I'm sure, but like, you kind of dodged a bullet. Like, you for sure dodged a bullet. You found your soulmate way earlier than a lot of other people do. So just consider yourself lucky and go to your therapist, process those feelings. It's totally normal, I think, but you literally have gold. So you'll be fine. Let's go to the top comment. And it says, I think you're romanticizing dating. Dating sucks, lol. It took me a long time to find my person, and I would give it all up to meet them a lot sooner. Agreed. And OP replied, that's a good point, and I'm glad you met your person. Thank you for your reply. So someone else wrote, the user above makes a good point about dating sucking in general, but also you really need to be on guard about someone popping up in your life in a non-dating way and you somehow falling into the trap of thinking the grass is greener just because they're new and shiny. Only you can decide if what you're feeling is genuine FOMO or if your wife isn't really your person, the one. Love means choosing each other every day intentionally. OP replied to this as well and said, you're absolutely right, and it's just stupid FOMO. I don't want to leave my life. I'm going to talk to a therapist so I can stop having these thoughts. Yeah, it really is just you thinking the grass is greener for a little bit, but it's not. It's green where you water it. So I'm glad that this OP got to where they got to without going through a bunch of crap. The next story comes from r/AITAH, and it's titled, Am I the Asshole for Not Feeling Sorry for My Husband? I don't know. OP writes, me, 32, and my husband, 36, have been married for 8 years. We have 2 kids together. Last year, I found out he cheated on me multiple times throughout the marriage. He went on a boys' trip when one of our kids was 3 months old, cheated on me there, and came back with 2 girls' numbers whom he would talk to daily. I simply found out he has been cheating / texting other women since we started dating. I was heartbroken and couldn't believe my eyes. We sat down. He begged for me to forgive him, that it was all old stuff and that it wasn't as recent as I thought. That he had grown up and he would try to be a better husband if I gave him the chance. I was saturated, overwhelmed, and didn't think things through. I should have left him then, but decided to try and see. During these times, I didn't see him interact with other women. However, he refused to delete Snapchat, where he cheated. That's why we don't have Snapchat when we're grown-ups. And he was very rude and snappy at me, treated me really badly. I got to the point where I said I wanted a divorce again. And he just kept begging and wouldn't accept it. I felt bad and kept going in the relationship. At some point, I was really upset at how we were living and made the mistake to cheat back. I don't know if I thought that would make him want to leave, since anytime I asked, he would make it impossible. He would involve my parents, the whole family, etc. Okay, kitty cat. I honestly was out of my mind, not thinking straight, and made that mistake. That's a big mistake. I hate it. He found out, a family member of mine told him, and when I thought he would finally leave, he said he would forgive me and that he would try to move on past this hurt because it was only right since he cheated on me so much. He understands and that he's heartbroken, but that we should start fresh now. However, he has started provoking me, calling me names, saying I'm worthless and a piece of POS. Instead of moving on and forgetting like he said he would, he brings it up daily. He constantly checks my whereabouts, and if I can't account for where were you between 9:30 to 9:40, it's a whole fight. He's always threatening to hurt me, hit me in the face, bash my head in, etc. Anytime I take too long to answer, or if I say something that he deems not good enough of an answer. Yikes, yikes, yikes on bikes. Most recently, he asked who a random person was on my Instagram account, and when I said it's just someone I follow, like an influencer, he tried to choke me. The next day, he started using me choking you out last night didn't put fear in your heart. I'm tired. I've asked him to leave, and his response was, "You will leave the apartment, and so will I, or else on my way out, I'm going to destroy everything. I'll get you kicked out. One way or another, we will both leave. That's the only way I'll agree to end it with you." The apartment we live in is rented. I rented it in my name because he was never able to come down and check new places with me or to even sign the lease. I understand I made a mistake and that two wrongs don't make a right, but I don't feel sorry for him. I'm not proud of what I did either. He is so manipulative that at some points I feel like I deserve what he's doing because of what I did. But then I think if he's unhappy or can't get over my mistake, he can just leave, but he doesn't want to. What does he want? I'm desperate here. OP, he wants to control and manipulate you. That's like you cheating back was the best, like it was the best thing that happened to him. It was his perfect excuse to treat you like absolute garbage because, well, now she did it, so I can make her feel like crap. I really hope she gets out of there. We do have an edit. So, edit. Hi, everyone. Thank you for all the comments. I've read each of them and took them very seriously. It truly has opened my eyes. When you're living like this for so long, you start to think that somehow it's your fault. My mind has been fogged for so long, thinking maybe he will change if I act right. What some of you said is so real. He constantly texts me saying, "What have you done today to make me happy? I'm tired of telling you I'm sad and unhappy. You don't be on my dick or kissing my ass enough. I want you on top of me like I'm priority." Ew. The way he portrays himself to my family, the way they think he is such a good husband, they all love him. This morning, 6 a.m., and he was already texting me the most obnoxious stuff. I was in the shower and ignored his text. He came in to give me a kiss and followed that kiss by, "Make sure you have your location turned on at all times." When I gave him an attitude, he shoved me and told me to change that face. He's so controlling, so I am working on a plan to leave him. My apartment building would be the safest place once he leaves. It has security systems, cameras, and you don't have access unless you have the key. Like the key is a fob, so he wouldn't be able to copy it. I've told my building manager, and she asked me to keep her posted. As far as family, they don't see what I see. My mom thinks I'm overreacting and that I need to have patience with him. That no matter what, if I leave him and find another guy, they're all the same. And my sister was the one who told him I cheated. I have since cut all contact with her. My dad is the only one I count on 100%. I have aunts and cousins, but they're 2.5 hours away from me. I feel like they're all taking things lightly because he would never do that, or this wouldn't happen in our family. We work together. He's on the road, I'm in the office. He knows my every move. When I leave, when I arrive, when I have a short day, when I come in late. When I leave early, he demands me to turn on my location. I literally have to have it on at all times when I'm not at work. Our boss has us like his own family. It's a small family company that we work for. The threats, they're always done via text. From time to time, he will get in my face when the kids are either asleep, like when he choked me, it was around 1 a.m., or when they're out. He has never done anything in front of the kids. One of my babies is very, very outspoken. She will tell on him at school, so he is very meticulous. The girls constantly show him affection. They tell him they love him daily, so he's sure and careful not to damage how they see him. I have screenshots for days, everything documented. My birthday is coming up in a week, and I had told him I wanted to go on a spa day. His answer was straight up, "No, and don't defy me." He is constantly telling me to choose between him and the gym. And when I stand my ground, he says, yeah, I don't need a wife with wings and her own will. I need someone who will listen and obey me. I want to throw up. He is always trying to control me, saying things here and there to try to scare me and keep me in line. He has said many times, between you loving me and fearing me, I'd rather you fear me because that means respect. He had me locked in this nightmare so long that I truly needed to read all you guys have said to open my eyes to the fact that I am a victim. So, thank you. Girl, I get it. I'm sorry that you're married to this man, but no, not all guys are like that. And you should probably just break up with him and then not be with anyone for a while because he's the worst. Top comment. You're going to end up dead. Get out any way you can. That's exactly what I was thinking. He's literally going to kill you if he can't control you. And then your girls are going to have no parents. And honestly, that's not the male example that you want for your daughters anyway. This is so, so sad. But yeah, I'm really glad that OP said that they have everything documented. They have screenshots for days because you're going to need that in divorce court. But as of right now, this was posted 4 months ago. I'm not seeing any updates or anything like that. What have you done to make me happy? Take care of your ass. Literally exist and be amazing in your presence. Allowing you to be in my presence. Having your children, that's hard. Having babies is hard. Fuck that guy. I really hope OP leaves. So this next one has been deleted, but it comes from r/life advice. And it's titled, How Do I Kill a Crush on My Coworker? OP writes, I will preface this with some context. I am 14 months postpartum. My husband and I have had a rough year, and I would never cheat on him. About 3 months ago, I came to know a new coworker. He's hot, very friendly, and also married. There have been times where I feel he's more friendly with me. We always have this natural banter without trying. No lines have been crossed, but I feel a vibe. For example, a few days ago, I stopped by his department to ask someone else a question. Whenever I'm over there, he gets up or starts a conversation with me. So he asked me a work question. We ended up talking for 15 minutes. I told him I had to go and made it to the hallway, and he said, hey, wait, and had another work question for me. We talked a while longer. He greets me with my name and makes a lot of eye contact, which I know can be normal. Maybe he's just a flirty person. No touching, no compliments. I told my husband about the crush the first week. He literally doesn't care because he knows I'm honest with him and trusts me not to cheat. I've talked to friends about it, my longtime therapist, and I still feel like I get shaken up when I see him. I get all giddy and I just want to talk to him more. We don't have a lot of contact at work because we are in different departments, but I have come up with more reasons to come his way than I would otherwise. I feel really bad about this, and I'm trying to figure myself out. I don't know if it's because I got married young and never dated around, but I enjoy some attention. I know this sounds bad, but my desire is to know whether or not I am making this up or if it is mutual. I don't want to do anything about it, and I wouldn't do anything that crosses boundaries, but I just wish I knew. Whenever I catch myself thinking about him, it's more like wanting to get to know him better and hang out with him, not anything inappropriate. But I realize that this could lead to that area really quickly if we became friends outside of work. Things I've tried. Making a list of things I don't like about him. Avoiding him for days at a time. making my emails to him so generic and professional when we have to correspond. But when I run into him, it's like the chemistry takes over. Sometimes I shut down a conversation, other times I let it continue. I just enjoy chatting with him. I know it probably is enabling the crush. Anyway, help my tortured self. I feel like you know the answer to all of this, OP, and I think that you just need to just cut it out. Stop entertaining it. The fact that you're even thinking about wanting to get to know him, that to me draws like that's already crossing a boundary for me. You don't need to like want to get to know someone new in your life like that you already are physically attracted to. That is like it's bordering right there on emotional infidelity. And this is already, the whole thing is bordering on emotional infidelity. I think that not only should you totally stop entertaining this, keep doing all the stuff that you are already doing. You don't need a list of reasons why you don't like him. Like, just take that energy and focus it back on your husband. Try to get to re-know him, try to see if there's anything new that he's into, spice things up, do things a little bit different. But you're already treading very, very, very risky waters. Because, I mean, it's honestly kind of cute that your husband trusts you so much that you told him about the crush and he was just like, whatever. There's just red flags all over, but you need to just take that energy and put it back into your actual relationship. Yeah, no. You don't need to be giving this guy attention. You don't need to be getting attention from him. If you want more attention, tell your husband you want more attention. And then you guys can find some like cute, kinky ways to, give each other sweet attention. This is already too much. You're already doing too much. And you're thinking so highly of this person that you don't even know. You trying to find things that you don't like about him when you don't even know him is going to be borderline impossible because you don't know him. What if you found out that he was already cheating on his wife? Not with you, but with someone else. That would be a very big thing that you don't like about him. And guess what? It'd probably kill your whole little fantasy. So just dead it. He doesn't mean anything. Top comment. If you want my honest advice, I would stop feeding into this if I were you. Stop the extra visits at work. Until you can be completely platonic, keep contact to a minimum. Understand that what you're feeling is purely infatuation. I think you do understand this, but you're playing with fire, indulging yourself with his attention. Something to remind yourself. The idea you have of him is not who he is. That is who he is to the world and his coworkers. You don't really know him. Would you risk losing the family you love over a cute stranger? 100%. That's exactly what I just said. So top comment and me are like right here, eye to eye. Take all of that energy, put it back into your relationship. Only you can kill this crush. And the fact that he's also entertaining it like that, I don't know. That would be really gross to me. Whether I was married or single, if a married person was like giving me like a little bit too much attention, I legitimately would be grossed out. So just, I guess, try to think of it that way. Moving on to our next story. It comes from r/best of Redditor updates. It is titled, I'm headed for divorce, but my lawyer has given me the best news ever. The original post was in October of 2025, and OP writes, my lawyer gave me the best news. My female 38 husband, soon to be ex-husband, has been cheating on me and he wants her instead of me. I'm probably naive because I didn't see this coming at all. I was researching vacation options for our 10th anniversary next year, and meanwhile, he, male 39, was running around with another woman. She's either 25 or 27. I can't remember which. I never thought heartbreak like this was real, but he broke my heart. I've known people who have gotten a divorce, and you have to live separately for a year before you can get a divorce. But I wanted to be prepared, so I made an appointment with a lawyer. It was probably the best thing I've ever done. She told me that in our state, alimony is forbidden if there is adultery. Since my husband cheated, I won't have to pay alimony. I was prepared that I would have to pay out the nose, but I have proof that he cheated, that he gave me himself, so I won't have to pay him. This was the best news I could have gotten. Also, the living separately for a year only applies to no-fault divorces in my state. Since I have proof that he cheated, my lawyer went ahead and filed on my behalf based on adultery. Technically, my husband and I still live together. Our lease expires on the 31st, and the countdown on our separation was supposed to start November 1st. I wish I could be there to see his face when, one, he gets served with the notice that I filed, and two, he finds out that he won't get alimony because he cheated. Oh, this is so delicious. It's yummy on my lips. He wanted a no-fault divorce, and I know he was counting on getting alimony. It was the best news I could have ever gotten. I don't even have words for how amazing I feel. And the top comments are essentially, congratulations, I'm so excited, buy your lawyer an edible arrangement. So the update comes December of 2025, 1.5 months later. Update. I'm headed for divorce, but my lawyer has given me the best news. This is kind of anticlimactic, but there were some comments on my original post asking me to update what happened after my husband was served with the divorce papers. I also wanted to thank everyone for the kind comments they left. Even though I had gotten good news from my lawyer, this has still been the most horrible time of my life, and all of the encouragement did help. My soon-to-be ex-husband was predictably not happy when he was served and found out I had filed for divorce. He was under the impression that we had to be separated for a year. I just told him to talk to a lawyer. We both moved out of our condo during the last week in October when the lease ended, and we live separately now. A few days after he was served and I told him to talk to a lawyer and leave me alone, my husband told me he has changed his mind and asked if we could work things out. Oh, wow, how funny. I said, no fucking way, and told him to have his lawyer talk to my lawyer because I'm done talking to him. He was upset and almost in tears when I said I wouldn't reconsider. Oh my God, so sad. Your little baby. So sad. It's like a butthole. It's been a month and I have not seen or spoken to him. He hasn't tried talking to me again. Edit, and I'm extremely happy about it because I don't want anything to do with him ever again. Our lawyers are doing all the communicating. He may have been upset, but he broke my heart first, and even the good news from my lawyer hasn't erased how broken I feel. Edit to add, I'm turning off my messages so people will stop DMing me and calling me two-faced or other names for being disappointed that he hasn't contacted me again. I'm actually happy he hasn't because I want nothing to do with him ever again. I'm the opposite of disappointed. People are so weird. Like, first of all, don't DM this woman anything. She posted something publicly. If you want to call her two-faced, do it in the comments. Be brave. Say it with your chest. Because that's dumb as hell. Also, did you even read the post? Anyway. Keyboard warriors are the worst. Top comment. I'll bet she dumped him. Another comment says he realized he derailed the gravy train and his new girlfriend dumped his broke ass. Good for you. You deserve better. Yeah. Pretty positive that's exactly what happened. She found out that you're actually broke, you're not getting alimony, and boo-hoo, boo-hoo, she left you, and now you don't have anyone. Oh my gosh, you don't have the wife that was taking care of you, and you don't have your young little bitty. I don't feel bad for you, OP's ex. I'm so happy for OP also. This was a good one. I like that ending. That was nice. All right. Next story comes from r/regrets. It was posted 2 months ago and it's titled Marrying My Wife. Oh. OP writes, "Hi all. This is my first time posting. Where to begin? For some important context, my wife and I grew up very religious and are no longer members of any faith community. However, that impacted our entire upbringing and how we dealt with every relationship issue when younger. We started dating in high school and got married immediately after graduating from a religious college. A few months into our marriage, I discovered that my wife had been having a virtual affair with a mutual acquaintance after they were both in a wedding of shared friends. This included, at the very least, daily emotional connection via constant texting, sexual pictures, and explicit videos. She has consistently and adamantly denied any physical contact, though the thought is constantly hanging over me. That doesn't even matter. That literally doesn't even matter. You're having a virtual affair. That's disgusting. So, the entire affair lasted over a year and began prior to our marriage. I only found out after finding a video of her masturbating that she emailed to him. That is ballsy. To make matters worse, she sent a similar video a few days before our marriage, was the one to reach back out after we were married, and did sexual things for him that she has never offered in our relationship. She knew I felt uneasy about the person, and it was my literal worst fear come true. Oh, that hurts. I was young and stupid, so I did not keep any of the evidence. And as we were raised very religious, everyone in our circle convinced me to forgive and forget since it was sin. I am certainly not a perfect person, and I said some incredibly terrible things to her after finding out. However, that experience of seeing the video, finding out, being trickled truth for months afterwards so she could save face, and the utter betrayal I felt changed me. In hindsight, permanently so. Even after 12 years, I still check her phone when she's asleep, get angry when I randomly think about the situation, and find myself disgusted by the thought of what she did. It doesn't help knowing that she started sexting him 3 days after they started talking, and he barely had to try. I have never physically cheated on her or had a long-term virtual affair, but I have certainly done other regrettable and embarrassing things. Please do not think I am blameless. I cannot seem to get the nagging desire for revenge out of my head, no matter how hard I try. We didn't talk about it for so long, but the situation came up again recently, and I got a lot of feelings off my chest that I had held onto throughout our entire marriage. We did individual and couples therapy, and I was more open with her than I had ever been about my thoughts and feelings. I genuinely said everything I believed I had been holding on to. Things were better for a while, and I felt more connected. But the thoughts of revenge and contempt continually crept back up. Deep down, I don't think I can ever forgive her, as she is forever changed in my mind. If I had known, I would have never married her. As the person I am now, I would also have divorced her as soon as I found out. Unfortunately, I cannot go back in time, and now we have a few beautiful, amazing children whom I would not trade for the world. I know why I chose to stay in the past, though I would make a different decision now. But it is becoming more and more clear that I lost all respect for my wife that day, and I don't think I can get it back. To her credit, I am not aware of anything she has done since, and she is arguably a wonderful mother to our kids. However, I can feel myself becoming more and more indifferent and sexually uninterested in her every day. At the same time, I know my leaving would crush my children, and they mean everything to me. I guess I'm just pondering the possibility of completely blindsiding my wife by asking for a divorce 12 years after her affair and after starting a family, since I simply don't think I can ever forgive her. Marrying her has been my life's biggest regret. I welcome anyone's thoughts, suggestions, or questions. Thank you all. Ugh, that's heartbreaking on so many levels because when you're young, when you're very, very young, you're obviously a little bit more easily influenced by your family, especially when you're part of a strong religious background. These people have all the influence on you. And for them to, I hate that they told you to just forgive and forget because it was sin. Like, yes, it was sin and you can forgive, but you don't have to forget. You don't have to keep that person in your life. And I wish that anyone close to you had told you that. That I totally get it. And I honestly think that if you're still feeling this way 12 years later, she can be a great mom while you guys are divorced. And you can be a great dad. Like there's nothing wrong with that. But after a while, your kids are going to feel your resentment towards her. And then they might be mad at you about it. When in reality, I mean, you don't obviously you don't want to tell them like, "Hey, well, your mom cheated on me 12 years ago," because you don't want to make her look bad either. It's not a fight between who's a better parent, but if you're not happy now and you guys have already gone through the steps, the individual, the couples therapy, and you just can't get over it, I truly don't see a real reason to stay. Staying for the kids is not a real reason to stay in a relationship, you know, unless, no, no, it's not a reason to stay. It's not. So, I don't know. That's all I have. So, top comment. You lead by example. The kids will understand one day. Don't stay in that negative environment. Show your kids it's okay to have a backbone and not accept someone's unfaithfulness, disloyalty, and utter disregard for the vows you took. Yeah, I agree with the top comment. Next comment says, it sounds like everyone will be in a better place if you can co-parent apart and each of you can heal separately and figure out who you are and what you want in life. Yeah. And you've been holding on to it for so long. And you, again, you've gone through the steps of like trying to heal together and you're not, it's not happening. I mean, you tried. Like you can't say that you didn't try. You did. And that's it. You did everything that you could, I think. So I kind of hope OP divorces this lady. But their account has been deleted, so I can't even go stalk them. Sorry, guys. Okay, we're going to our last story, which is, of course, our palate cleanser. To cleanse the palates of all of the bad shit we just said. And this one comes from r/wholesome Reddit, which I just found. It's titled, Wife Found Out About Husband Eating Her Chocolate. If this isn't wholesome, I don't know what is. This is a screenshot. What I'm reading is a screenshot of an original post that was posted to Am I the Asshole? And that is titled, Am I the Asshole for Eating All of My Wife's Toblerone, then buying a new one? OP writes, Yesterday, a mutual friend came over and gave her a gift of a Toblerone from his holiday in Switzerland. She agreed I could have some, so I did. She's out for days, and my temptation got the best of me, so I ate the rest of an almost full packet. She has a habit of leaving food out to spoil, so I assumed it was all good to eat. But she sent me a message to make sure that there's some of the chocolate left for her. Fuck. It was already gone. So I've just rushed to the shop to get a new one in expectance that I'm a dead man when she gets back. She once flipped out at me for eating her year-old decorative pasta, so I'm not taking chances. What a weirdo. Toblerone is replaced with even more than there was previously. Not sure if I should put it in the Swiss package or apologize and just tell her that I bought a new one. For now, I'm keeping quiet, like a parent discovering the dead goldfish and doing the old switcheroo. I'm in the UK, by the way, so the recipe is exactly the same as the ones in Switzerland. Am I the asshole? Also, she religiously reads this subreddit. So, if she comes across this, G, I love you and I hope you forgive me like you did with the pasta. Apparently, his wife did find the post. And she commented, what? OMFG, I can't believe you ate my chocolate. I'm actually screaming, dude. This is so funny. The title caught my eye and I screenshotted it to send to you. Like, this is so something you would do. And now I'm shaking. OMFG, this is so funny. You're the asshole. I forgive you. I'm crying, laughing in the toilet at work. And then OP responds with like a million hearts and says, fuck, thank God. That's so funny. That's so cute. And that's the kind of relationship that you deserve, listener, watcher. So thanks so much. That's the end of this episode. If you like me, please rate me 5 stars. If you're on Spotify, if you're watching me on YouTube, hit like, hit subscribe, leave me a little comment, and come visit me on my subreddit at r/Upvote My Trauma. Leave me your stories and I will probably read them here. Apart from that, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye.